The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, I'm Duncan Grieve, founder of The Spin-off. You can help us keep all of The Spin-off's award-winning journalism free for everybody by becoming a member today at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Welcome to the Fantasy Suite podcast, brought to you by the spinoff.co.nz and lightbox.co.nz. Incidentally, that's the home of Unreal, a great show set behind the scenes of a romance reality show, possibly written by Rebecca Trelease. And joining me in the Fantasy Suite, Alex Casey and Duncan Grieve. Did you not get that, Duncan?
Who's Rebecca Trelease? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know people's surnames.
Premier, Bachelor, PhD... merchant.
But I can't know surnames. I want to apologise in advance for my performance on this show because I basically watched both episodes of The Bachelor this morning. Had a tumultuous week, and I'd taken a sleeping pill the night before, this like herbal one that just knocks me for like 20.
Where are your priorities?
And I was watching it through the worst kind of sleeping pill fog, and I would like zone out for long periods of time. So it's just a pre-warning for our listeners.
It could be better. It could be better.
That's how we should do it every week.
I think you probably had a better experience watching the show anyway.
I didn't hate it.
Okay. So, speaking of that, I don't hate it anymore either. I've done a complete 180.
What's happened?
Well, I owe some of it to you. You sent me a YouTube video.
Oh my goodness.
Of Geordie Porty acting the goat, trying to be a TV presenter type thing for some.
He's doing some crazy PR for Moa. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's what he is. He's a quirky TV presenter. Like, I reckon he could be friends with Clark Gayford. You know, like those two would get on like a house on fire. And I reckon that he finds the constraints of this reality TV format like awkward. And so he makes these like little kind of almost David Brentish kind of jokes, you know, like a quirky TV presenter would. Mm-hmm. And when you watch it with that in mind, it changes everything.
Is this just because of that Moa video?
It's complex.
I can't believe that affected you.
Yeah, it did. Because I looked at it, I was like...
But I feel like you're bearing the lead of that video, which is that he talks to John Key at the end.
I know that was the point. But there was... there was an extra special thing that happened when I watched that.
I definitely feel like he's someone who thought this was a great idea that would be wonderful for his career, and then he started it and he's just in hell.
And he found himself in a room full of women that he's not attracted to, and he's contractually obliged to kiss at least 75% of them.
I definitely agree with the like he's in hell motif, because it feels like a guy who's just grimly marching on to the end through himself. But that is actually also a much more fun way to watch the show, you know, like staring at him intently as a guy who's just doing what he must to make the finish line, which is great.
Yeah, do it. Watch that. Do it like that next time instead of taking herbal sleeping pills.
No, I'm going to do that again. Okay. Yeah, it's working for me.
Anyway, I'm into it. I'm back in. So a couple of weeks ago I was ready to just like abseil off that cliff, and now I'm pulling a Sarah and I'm staying on the cliff, not going down.
Felt like there was a lot of off-field action this week.
There was. I think we're gonna talk. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about between the episodes. We'll just run through the first episode and then we'll get to
just bang it out.
All right.
Okay. Also, our hashtag is TFS Pod. Talk to us on Twitter. Tell us stuff. Okay. So Monday night's show started with a single date. Glamping. I've actually got clamping written here, which would have been
very clever.
Would have been good for the work, earning extra money.
Bit of adrenaline.
Was it glamping or was it a house?
There was definitely a tent thing.
Is this Storm?
Yeah. There was a
It
tenty
looked
thing.
like a house. It looked like it was
What is
there.
glamping? I feel like this is beyond glamping.
Well, yeah, no,
It was
okay.
definitely beyond glamping.
There was a tent, but it was built on a solid structure. Like there's a deck that's there full time.
Right.
It was like a batch.
By the way,
Definitely remember that.
we're in Queensland, right?
We're in outback Queensland
Yeah.
or something.
Is
Just
there such a
Brizzy.
thing? I didn't
like
even...
they clearly
that where
have
the
like their own
outback
little tourism bureau who funded this leg of the trip, and they're just like, you must say outback Queensland or backcountry Queensland or some phrase like 1,000 times, and they were just banging them out. But as if it was the most normal thing in the world.
I tell you who's really good at Queensland tourism? Naz.
Well,
When they got their little clue for that date, and it was something about getting to the point or something like that, and she's like, you know, the point, it's like a place in the Gold Coast or something like that.
Naz
wasn't it
has
like
been...
Kangaroo Point or something? And there was like Koala Point and Kangaroo boat tours. It was all just very Aussie.
My theory of Naz is that the only time she's ever left the Gold Coast is to come to New Zealand briefly at the start of The Bachelor and then to go to Hawaii. Like, she is home right now. And you can see it. She's so much more relaxed. It's lovely.
Yeah. But we'll get to Naz. I'm so excited to talk about Naz. But anyway, before the single date, as the date card was read out, I just want to touch on this because this annoys me. Gabs hadn't been on a single date to this point, so she's there getting geared up, hoping that she'll get the single date, and she didn't. And she's packing a bit of a sad about it, and everyone's like, oh, I thought Gabs was going to get to go. But it's not about, like, everyone getting a go, right? This guy's trying to find his forever love, so he's going to go on as many dates
It's not
as possible.
freaking communism, you know?
Exactly. So that's my issue. It's not...
Naz had some nice, not Naz, Gabs had some nice time as well. I feel like they had that Hawaii lawn, the Obama lawn.
And she's had all of the group dates.
She's had all of the group
which was another meme
dates.
on the show.
But yeah, anyway, I just don't... it's about finding love. It's not about being fair.
I also think that the tent, which had like a roaring fire in it, is part of the... It's always incredibly cold wherever they are on the
It's
season of The
off-season,
Bachelor.
it's cheaper.
It's really weird.
Dead of winter. It's romance.
She drove through a bloody river to get to him.
I was
That was
impressed.
cool.
That was really cool. And the wackiest thing about it is she gets out the car. He doesn't even mention it.
Because
He loves a woman that can drive, remember? That's like his one
Oh, so
proviso.
to him, that's just like that.
He's like,
thing.
ugh, yeah, I was
Pause.
expecting it. Like,
or maybe does he feel threatened because she can drive like through large bodies of water? I feel like that. I don't know.
forgot. It was like a commercial for Suzuki, and I forgot. And then she stepped out. I was like, oh, that's right, watching the show. It's not even mentioned.
maybe they're going to sell that footage later, though. Like, they're just thinking ahead.
Monetizing.
Yeah.
So they I don't know, they hung out in a bush and then they hung out in a
And did
fanciest tent ever, and then they had it.
No, but did they? Did we see them have a massage?
Yeah.
I didn't say the message bit yet.
Oh, did it? Oh,
Those pills.
sorry. Oh, God.
Massage attack.
And then they had a massage. There you go.
Well, like, okay, I was blacking out a lot during this section. But Nikki reckoned that you never actually saw them being massaged.
Well, you saw some people being massaged. Whether or not it was them.
Was it not them?
Well, we don't know. I mean,
It was a
maybe
wide
not.
shot. I mean, is she actually scared of massages?
Because I don't know. I feel like, yeah.
That was quite a fancy, like, it was a proper kind of romantic-y kind of fancy day, I thought. You know, because, like, to get those massage people from the city to the country with all their gear and to kind of set up in a river and all that, that's not washing dogs, you know?
No,
It's not mustering cattle.
It's not mustering. Okay, admittedly, there's still that sort of stuff going on. But I think, I have a theory, they've got Australian batch crew and producers helping out on this one.
True.
Because they would have just
That's not
touched
crazy.
base with their Warner Brothers friends and said,
Same people making it, right? Isn't it Fremantle?
I don't know.
But isn't the batch is all controlled by one batch
governing.
overlord,
But
right?
they'll be
Yeah, Chris Harrison.
It's just purring like a cat. But I feel like that there's an Australian company that has oversight. It could be wrong.
I don't know, but you know these things. There's always the rules, and there'll be a book this you can't see quite thick, but I'm doing
Sort
thick
of
hands.
old phone books, not new phone books. Though.
Yeah, maybe 2 phone. Anyway, very thick of rules and the way they have to keep to the format as much as possible. And I think, they're all like mates in each other's country. So when our people go to Australia, they'll be like, look, we need to organise some dates. Do you guys have any good ideas? Do you have some hookups? And they would be like, there's this river. You can get massages on it. We can help you out with the bonfire pyramid thing. Like they we can source some good cheese. I think they help out.
Is that why, because you know how sometimes like they come here, like the big leagues, like Bachelor US.
Yes, and imagine what our production crew here would do for them.
This isn't dog
We've
washing.
got heaps of dogs.
Do you guys like tikitane?
Imagine that. It would be so great.
Bachelor US can never know about the Bachelor NZ.
Do you reckon we've actually got the license? Because I don't know if we do.
No, we don't.
I reckon it's
If you look very closely, it's like the A is not actually an A or something.
it's got an umlaut or a macron.
They did a quick cut back to the house in this. I find Rebecca so fascinating, especially in light of episode 2 from this week's events. But she mentioned a cricket ground. I don't know what she was talking about a cricket ground for, but she mentioned a cricket ground. She was like, oh, they're going to be off to a cricket ground and it's going to be really romantic. They won't actually be watching a game or anything, but they have the whole pitch to themselves. But that's not something you would say randomly unless you were like, I think,
What do you guys think of that? And she's like taking notes.
Yeah. Totally. So she's like Danny was last year, very schooled up on all things Batch. She's very schooled up on all things Batch.
I also love the fact that it like implies that while someone is on a single date, that's all they do for the whole day back at the mansion is talk about what that date could possibly be.
I remember there were like some interviews after last year's season where the girls said basically they were prompted all the time to just talk about, art and the dates and, other girls and that. Like any time they were having a conversation like, oh, how's work going? Oh, so tell me what you do, and trying to get to actually know each other, and a camera was around, they'd be like, no, you need to steer that away.
I just feel like that's kind of a mistake, because I'm so curious to know anything that's not about what they think about Jordan.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to think about him. Like, he's the blankest of canvases, and I'd love to know just anything.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a failing of this season, because last season there was a lot more chat.
I feel like there was, Like I feel like I knew more about the
saying
girls.
that you tagged us in on Facebook, it's like that was kind of, a little bit of personality. This is what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got a trio of humans down there.
It was natural.
Yeah.
It wasn't like someone jumping into bed with another castmate and going, oh, so I've just got back from my date, and suddenly all these girls come running into the room in their pajamas going, oh, we were all just walking by in the hallway.
See, that is the thing, right? So, like, we're watching this show because it's reality television, and we know that it's kind of silly and sort of soft-scripted and all the rest of it. But when they try and make it like drama, and then it just looks so crappy. It's like impossible to avoid how bad it is. Like the more they just let them be, I feel like humans are interesting. I enjoy staring at them.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, back to Storm and Jordan and their massage. She's got a fear of massages.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of fine.
Did she put that on her application form, and that's why they made her do that?
Probably.
I think bananas topped the massage.
Well, imagine if they had just popped a banana under the massage
That's the
table.
next day. It's just a giant man in a banana costume chasing her across the outback.
We need that.
Bananas and pajamas pantomime. After the massage, Jordan says to Storm, feeling a bit looser now?
Yuck.
Which I thought was gross.
I noticed, I don't know if this was before or after the massage, when they were having the giant cheese platter that nobody touched, as Annie in a Bachelor group thing pointed out. Mm-hmm. It was a lovely platter. Anyway, Jordan just says back to Storm and a lot of the other women exactly what they just said to him.
No.
Like, he just, like, he said, Storm says, this is our second date. And he goes, second date? Yeah. And then she said, there's just a lot to think about. And he said, a lot to think about. And I was
That's
just like,
amazing.
this is crazy. Like, I was just watching it like, how is this? This isn't a conversation.
I swear to you, this guy does not want to be there. Like, he doesn't. He actually genuinely doesn't. And he doesn't really know how to deal with it all.
Or he's like some kind of artificial intelligence. that they've created
I
who
don't
can
think-
only go
He's
so
like a
far.
bot.
Do you think he's not even good enough
I
to
don't
be?
think he's, yeah.
AI is pretty good now.
AI,
Like, it
yeah.
passes the Turing test. He does not pass the Turing test.
There was one bit where he did get quite emotional with Storm. Revealed his feelings, said he really, really liked her and I'm really into you. And she was just like, yep, still here.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Still here.
Still here. Like, well, if I wasn't into you, I guess I wouldn't be here, but I'm still here. So.
I've got a quote from him that says, yeah, I think we're on the right track to connecting on another level.
Yeah,
So
that's
they're
good.
just on the right track. They're not even there. They're not even close.
I just love his ability
They're
to
just-
mash together cliches.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I mean, you've just said nothing. Like, I feel like everyone's on the right track to connecting on another level, aren't they? Like,
Yeah.
it's just nothing, Jordan.
And which is probably why there was no Rose. No Rose on that date. Dun, dun, dun. Next is the group date. That was an abseiling situation with Gabs. It's her 6th group date.
It's also like this making you confront your fears. It's getting kind of out of hand. Like, is he just like torturing people willfully now? Because I feel like fear of water. For some reason, I've got like a hierarchy of fears when that's ridiculous. Because fears are irrational by their nature. But making someone with a fear of heights do abseiling seems real full on to me.
It is, yeah.
Like, it's almost
Do
cruel.
you have any phobias or fears?
No, I'm basically
None.
superhuman. No, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I don't love maggots.
Who does? I mean, who does though?
They're so sort of crawly.
But would you
Like, if I
would you have an
saw-
anxiety attack if you saw a maggot?
No.
Look, they're never going to do a mega Bachelor date.
That's a different show.
But
And it's
Fear
often-
Factor.
It does get a bit fear factor.
Jordan's just pouring buckets of maggots on, like, Kerry.
I feel like Jordan has fantasized about that. I feel like it's inevitable.
Do you have any phobias?
Well, I was thinking about this. I'm not afraid of heights per se. E.g., I did the scary ride that Rebecca did when she threw up in her mouth, and I was cool with it. But doing the abseiling thing, I would think twice. I don't think I'd be like a Kate in that situation. I'd be like, hey, who's going to come down the
And
wall?
just like collapse really badly and embarrassingly
Yeah.
as well.
I am scared of heights. I'm pretty scared of heights. And I think the thing that happens to you when you have a fear is that, like an intense fear, is when you're standing at the top of like a cliff and you're scared of heights, you start getting anxious and you start shaking, and your ability to be able to actually like move can disappear. You can freeze up, but also you tend to get like wobbly, so you're going to actually F yourself. Like they did, the girls who were scared,
And it just seems like a real arbitrary thing to pick as like, this is what I look for in a mate. And it's literally the only thing, like every freaking day.
someone
like,
can overcome their
Yeah.
fears.
like what is that? Like,
Is
people
he-
have
I think
their
it's because
fears.
like they haven't figured out how to find drama or tension
Yeah.
from anywhere else.
Maybe,
So they're
yeah.
like, let's just fuck shit up. Let's just throw people off cliffs and like just
The sad
extract
thing
the
is,
worst
I
things.
actually think they would have organised most of this before they even started
Yeah.
filming, and they have just organised it based on people's application forms. The fears they're
Shit dates. Like, have you ever been on a date where you go like zip lining or I just
No.
haven't done any of that. That's something you do with your mates on a stag. It's all a stag.
But
And it's
seriously,
just,
if
like,
you did what you
why?
actually do on a first date, it would not be a very interesting show.
But it's like it could be about conversation, having.
I don't want that.
I'm sorry.
I don't think
Watching people I don't know and don't particularly care for go abseiling isn't as exciting as it sounds.
Yeah, but watching people have a conversation with Jordan isn't as exciting as.
Yeah, you're right.
As a side note, can I just introduce TVNZ's Blind Date coming soon
Very
to
excited.
TV2? This might be providing
it's
what you
called?
guys are crying about.
Like Blind Date, like the old school program.
It's
Blind
just
Date.
No, it's
two-
called First Dates, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. it's a
Oh no,
different
that's
show.
good. Yeah,
Well, either way. But is it the
Yeah.
same thing? Like, you don't know who you're going on a date with and you just watch their...
Because I've been
or Married at First Sight, which is amazing.
So
Like,
that's the thing. That's the thing. I watched that the other night. It was during the drug haze.
did you see season 1?
I watched little bits of it, but
Season 1, oh man,
it's so good. It's so good. So dramatic. Like, it's such a great conceit, and it's got its one like silly thing, but everything else is played like a documentary, like a nature documentary, even complete with the voiceover and stuff. Batch could do a bit of that. Batch is like demanding that we be idiots. Love the Batch though. Let's keep
Maybe he should marry them all in the first episode and then slowly divorce each one.
Be like Sister
I
Wives.
feel like you shouldn't give away really good TV ideas for free. You should copyright the spin-off 2016.
Right, anyway. Guys.
Where are we?
I don't know.
Okay,
Gab's
freaking.
yeah.
Everyone's like everyone's falling over the cliff and freaking out and hurting
about
themselves.
Gabs.
She was having
She was having a panic attack.
Yeah, but she nailed it. I actually was more worried about Kate because Kate was doing some weirdo thing where she was like, she's acting like she's totally cool with it. Then she nails herself, and then as she goes down, she starts going. He's like, "You all right?" She's like, "Yep, this is easy." Like, I don't think she was being sarcastic. I think she was trying to convince everyone that she was fine, but she was
definitely not fine.
She was like definitely not fine.
Because the Kate persona on the show relies on, I can do anything, I'm one of the boys, I'm your wing woman. And when she was confronted by a situation where she was genuinely scared, she's like, I've just got to do it, the cameras are there. And she like caned out real bad. That looked so sore. And she just had to like eat it. It's bad.
But also because she had been saying, I'm fine with this. I'm so confident. This is fine. I've done this before.
It was another very cool moment. She's like completely destroyed on a cliff. It's like, that's fine. This is just what absolutely looks like. She's like covered in blood hanging off a cliff.
And Jordan picked up on that, right? He was like, oh, Kate pretends like she knows, but she's hiding. She's hiding something.
Jordan is a very observational man, okay? Nothing gets by Jordan.
He said, there's something tangled up behind a wall. A barrier.
I'll tell you what's tangled up behind a wall. Kate.
I think it's a thesaurus.
Poor Sarah was just like, nah, I'm not doing this.
I love that.
I love that too.
Sarah's
It was cool.
as shit, man.
That should not have sent her home.
I know, because it's like what she did in the car racing thing, right? When she's like, I'm not going through the cones. What are you talking about? And she just went straight to the finish line. She's a legend.
She's total Bachelor.
I definitely think that there's some merit in people overcoming their fears, and I also think there's merit in people suddenly realising they have a fear that they didn't realise they had and going, you know what? I'm not just going to do this for the TV. I'm actually scared and I don't want to break my head open, so I'm not going to do this.
And should you be shamed for that? Like, should that be all black mark against you? You didn't overcome your fear. It should be like, it's fine. Like, this is the world that we're moving into, is one where if you don't want to do something, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be like forced into it. It was cool.
To be able to do that with like a camera crew, and I'm assuming like some kind of producer / hype man going, you got to do this. I feel like that's probably just as scary as going off a cliff.
Totally.
Well, and also to be able to just be like, I'm not doing it, firm, I'm out. That was cool too. That was also scary, and yeah, I feel like we lost 2 of our top 4 bachelorettes this week. Just saying.
Yeah. We're all.
But they were always middlers, so they were going to go at some point.
Rebecca was not always a middler.
She was not she was an early contender, and then she slowly faded out. Okay, this is not for you. I'm talking about for Jordan. Okay.
Oh, I thought
no.
I know. We're talking about Jordan. But they had a moment. God damn it.
Yeah. Well, she undid all that with her being
too much
smart.
onto Rebecca,
Okay. Anyway.
We're not up to.
We're not up to. Yeah. No.
Fine.
Okay.
It's just a good podcast.
Gabby got some alone time with Jordan, and she stubs her toe. Bad day. No, hang on. Kate. No, what? Sorry. No, wait. Kate, sorry. Kate got alone time with Jordan. Stubbed her toe. Tell him that he's friend zoned. She's going to leave. And then he's like, think about it overnight.
Yeah, that was really intense. She's like, I think we should just be friends. If you gave me a rose, I probably don't think I'd take it. And he's like, sleep on it.
Yeah. Probably just a setup though, right?
Yeah. Kate's malleable.
But to what end?
Poppy did the same thing last year. There's always one that talks
I feel
about
like
leaving.
Poppy was higher stakes than Kate was.
Oh, Poppy was definitely higher stakes than Kate was.
I mean, Kate's on the out, right? I'm sorry, Duncan's got Kate in the sweepstakes.
It's a real bad feeling.
I think Kate...
it's making me irrationally, unpleasant in my thoughts.
Why am I not in the sweepstakes, by the way? Guys,
I'm sorry.
I could be in the
you've got to get into the office. You keep dancing around it. We're trying to get you in there.
I just don't like hanging out with you.
Ruthless.
Okay. I'm just friend zoning you guys.
You really are.
Just sleep on it, Jen.
I'll sleep on it.
You'll feel different tomorrow.
Okay. So something else I want to talk about, which comes up quite a lot. So if Kate was friend zoning Jordan, but still kind of hanging around all this time and not necessarily having the feels, but being like, well, just want to see what happens. And other girls are going, it's not really fair. She could end up with a rose that someone else deserves.
I love that people. So I'll let you finish, but I've got a point.
It might be the same point.
Is it that like people act like this is a soccer tournament and someone could make a dream run from the 8th seed
Exactly.
and like come back to win it? So that's not how love works.
So what I've written down, which is exactly the same
I'm
things
an
you're
expert.
saying, I reckon he knows from early on who his like maybe his top 5 are, and if he wants
They don't change.
if he wants to send someone home in favour of someone who was like unsure,
Or in favour of someone who's just like a bit of a laugh.
a bit of a laugh,
It's going to make like hanging out with his good 5 better.
there's 100% chance that person was going to go home anyway.
Yeah, it
Like,
was just a
there's-
win situation.
The only thing that may change is like maybe number 5 and number 6 might swap places. Like that's it all comes out in the wash.
Yeah.
So there's no deserving the rose, and there's no if someone like Gabby's sitting around going, oh, but I just need to get him to know, I just need a chance to have a chance to get to know me. It's like if you're like the last person getting a date, you're not gonna come from the back of the field and
No, but I
win.
feel like Gabs might actually go.
She's not going on the line.
Don't you reckon? Nah. Gab surprised me this week.
She surprised me too, but
Are you kidding me?
surely-
That Sparkus? That
Yeah.
was crazy.
It's very noisy.
I feel like they did some Foley effects.
That's
on
what I
that
was
kid.
thinking.
It was too much, too soon.
I love when you flash your film degree around. It's hilarious.
Oh, guys, it's worth it. 3 years.
Okay, cocktail party. Has an intimate moment with Naz, no kiss. I noticed she's missing a chunk of a tooth.
That's from the kiss.
No, there was no kiss.
I didn't know.
For previous
You
kiss.
need to go back and screen grab if you can.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay, she's
Please
missing a chunk of tooth. No, but I thought maybe that's just the shape of her tooth, but I've looked at her Instagram and there's, she used to have the tooth bit was there. It's
Just,
just
she just lost
That
like,
is some
a bit of a tooth.
forensic analysis, Janie.
It was. I'm gonna screen grab it then if you're not going to. Lazy.
Lazy.
Is that why there's been no kiss?
No, it's not. I'm not.
Is that
no,
shocking tooth?
No, it's just I just noticed it. I was just like, I wonder if that happened during the show.
That would, but think about Natalie last time. Chipping a
Natalie?
tooth, jumping off the ferry.
Sure, but it might have happened off camera. Mind you, that's never stopped them.
It really hasn't. It really hasn't.
Don't make like some lizards recreate. Like.
Someone who's listening knows exactly what's going on here. So if you can give us the down low on the chipped tooth, that would be great.
I'm
I just like to give a
recording
shout out to whoever on Twitter recognised Rebecca's weird joke about the volcano and the mints and the pasta last week.
Oh, someone did.
Someone did.
Wow.
Someone heard it, and Rebecca explained it, and it was about the volcanoes.
Yes, but it was about the date card. It was the
It was all
relationship.
the
It was very.
I feel
You'd
like
have to be-
Rebecca's one of these people who like she says a whole lot of smart stuff all the time, and if you take a tiny bit of it out of context, she just looks
Yes.
nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and I don't feel like the Bachelor editors are kind to Rebecca types. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, his one-on-one time with Fleur, he says to her, she's, they did lots of shots of her hands stroking up his thigh and they're getting quite passionate. And, you have to say that his connection with Fleur is pretty strong, definitely one of the stronger ones. And he says he can see them riffing day by day together. Riffing day by day.
That's the most David Brent line.
riffing. That's literally a David Brent single.
Yeah.
Riffing day by
It's
day.
supposed
B-side,
to
I
be
reckon.
forever love, right? And this guy, because he hates being there, but he is, again, contractually obliged to make it sound like he's interested in these girls, he's trying to find ways to say, like, I can see a future with you, but he can't bring himself to say those words. So he says things like, I can really see us, riffing day by day.
What is that phrase never said before or
amazing.
since?
No.
It's a unicorn just
that
wandering
before?
around.
Was it Fleur then that said, I could see you meeting my parents? Because I saw that conversation, but I feel like they did like a little trick on me where I thought that was Jordan. Like I thought it seemed like a really kind of future thinking conversation, but it was actually Fleur just talking.
Yeah.
And Jordan just talking about riffing.
Yeah. I think she disclosed a lot about how she was feeling and she felt this was going all the way and she was serious about it, and then he was trying to say back, I feel the same. He just couldn't because he doesn't. Anyway,
Is it because he doesn't want to or because he can't?
I don't think he likes any of them. That's my feeling.
Yeah, I agree. I think he likes Ricky.
Oh, we're very close in the show. We can get into the discussion about all that stuff. Okay, Kate changed her mind, decides to stay. Power move, because she's not going to get kicked off, is she? After changing her mind, he's not going to go, I made you stay, and now I'm sending you home.
New theory. Kate is going to win The Bachelor by using all these crazy techniques that mean you cannot get sent home in a specific episode.
Oh my God.
Like, because
Maybe
there
she'll break
are
her
lots
own
of
arm.
moves. It's like Street Fighter. Yeah, totally. She breaks her arm in one episode. You know, she can basically just maneuver her way using all of these basically batch, like,
Yes.
get out of jail free cards.
Yes.
And then she's the last one standing and be like, what's up? And then maybe Jordan knows that.
He's
and that's
in on
why
it.
he's so dispirited. Because he's like, she's
He
figured it
might
all
be in
out.
on it, though. They're just mates.
They're just going to
And
be
he
great
doesn't
mates.
like any of the
They're
girls. So
going to
he's
live
like,
forever.
wing woman, I've got this idea. You go all the way. I'm not breaking any hearts
And we're
by
off to the
doing
pub.
this.
Yeah.
I'm off to the pub with Ricky. See you at the final rose.
Oh, man.
Okay, so
to
anyway.
be a fly on that wall.
So
No one knows what we're talking about yet.
I know what you're doing too, by the way, Duncan. You're trying to get Kate to the finish line so you win the sweepstake.
Oh my God, I actually totally forgot. I don't want Kate to win. It doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem just.
Yeah.
But that would be cool. Give me 100 smackers.
At the rose ceremony, Sarah went home. She's totally fine with that, which I feel like she shouldn't be at this stage of the show. I feel like every person was saying that they're getting feelings and connections and all that, and so she shouldn't just be totally fine with it. She should
But
be sad
everyone's
about
fine.
it.
Everyone was gunning to leave. Like,
I
people
know.
cannot wait. She said, I've got a quote. She said, I'm just looking forward to having fun.
She also went up to him when like at their goodbye, and she was like, thank you for everything, and I hope you find an amazing woman, or something like that. It was not that, but it was delivered
Yeah.
like that, like a total zombie.
When was the last time someone got eliminated and there was like a sadness on their face? It was a while.
Next week.
I don't think it's
reckon.
happened.
Yeah, but like Rebecca, it's relief.
Well, we
relief is the
know
dominant
why
emotion.
Rebecca was relieved. Right, not right reasons. Wrong reasons.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, that is interesting. Okay, cool. Well, news?
News, Geordie's dropped the boardies. That's big news. He doesn't-
Whoa, hello.
No, not in like any kind of crazy nude
Is this
photo.
a
No, I mean,
TFS pod exclusive?
no. As in, he's Australia. He's not been wearing the boardies.
Oh, right.
That's all.
Geordie's dropped the boardies.
Sorry,
as a
I may have
That's
oversold
the
that.
perfect scout
That was
headline
amazing, yeah.
for a story about him putting on a pair of trousers.
I prefer the idea of him putting on a pair of trousers than actually taking off his shorts. So he's probably got them on underneath the trousers anyway.
He just rips them
Let's
off
be
like
real.
stripper
He's probably got
pants.
like 100. He's like full Hamish Parkinson, just many layers to protect the
Okay.
George Jules, the Crown George.
Okay, this is our intermission.
So
We're going to
proud.
have some quick chats about some stuff that's been happening. For a start, I want to say Emily Rose, remember her?
No.
Episode, no, of course you know, episode 1, I think she got kicked out. She's from Nelson. She's a mum of 1, so I retract what I was saying last week about no single mums. I got pwned on Twitter about that.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. I don't actually think it was mentioned in the show, but it was in her Batchet bio online. Naz has had a boob job.
This was a big Scout exclusive,
Yeah.
guys. No one saw this coming.
No.
This came out of absolutely nowhere.
This changes everything.
Is it news if absolutely everybody already knew it?
Well, it's exclusive.
Yeah.
It's a B or D cup, guys.
Oh.
Don't want to get too in on the details here, but she loves it. She did it for herself, and she encourages women everywhere to just love themselves.
Can
for who
I
they
just
are.
say, I feel like they're bigger than a D cup.
I was surprised,
Yeah.
but maybe when it's like an implant, they put it just higher.
Here's the. I mean, I feel this is very shaky ground for me to dive on into as a man. But Naz is tiny.
Yeah.
So proportionally.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but that's not how cup sizes work.
Well, I don't. That's the limits of my knowledge.
A D cup on a fuller figured woman is a much bigger cup than it is a D cup on like a size 8
Is that
woman.
true?
Yes, absolutely. Like a,
Okay, I'm like literally learning this right now, so this is great.
I don't know.
This is truth. Okay.
Can you check that, Jose?
It's definitely
So
true.
you mean
so
the, like,
a
the
size
12?
a size 12D is the equivalent of a size 14C.
I don't know.
It's true. It's true.
What's the point then? Why even bother?
Right.
It's true. Just trust me.
So if you were to take like just a bra, cut off the
cups,
straps.
yeah,
just the cups, those cups vary in size, even if it's a D all the way through. Far out.
yeah.
Oh my God.
I need to.
I feel like we need a warning on this podcast that your mind is going to be blown at the 34-minute mark.
Chambray 2.0.
I really think you guys need to sound off on Twitter about this one using the hashtag TFSPod. Okay.
Should point out Alex is like staring into space like she just had the theory of relativity explained to
You
her.
just take a few moments.
Jane, can you like take me to Farmers one day? Like seriously.
Yeah, farmers is the place to go, for sure. In other news, my sister met Kerry.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I sent you the photo with my niece. My niece and Kerry. Did you
Was
not
that when
see
she had a rose?
Yes.
But did your niece give her the rose or did someone else?
No. So she was at the supermarket. She came out of the supermarket with her trolley. She'd just been at work, like looking after little children.
What was
So
in
she
the
was in her
trolley?
work years. I don't know. But a man came up to her and gave her the rose. And then my sister ruined the moment by going and saying, "Can I have a photo? Can you get a photo with my daughter?" But apparently she was really lovely and she looked beautiful in the photo. No makeup
looked
on.
lovely.
Looked really nice.
Activewear.
Yeah. And apparently she was saying, I was myself and I hope I came across okay on the show and all that kind of stuff. And it made me like her a lot.
So there's no Geordie Porty.
No, but there's not going to be, right? Because they're not allowed to be seen together. So that means
That's
means
the point.
nothing.
She could have been stocking up to fill the
Could have been an
porty
elaborate
belly.
ruse to get straight to you to throw you off the scent.
Do we know where Geordie Porty lives, by any chance? Because
Great
I know
one,
what
probably.
supermarket she was at.
Someone saw him.
Eastridge? Is it Eastridge?
It was Eastridge.
How did I know? I feel like that was pretty clutch. Like me just guessing Eastridge.
Yeah, it was Eastridge.
Because that's not a popular supermarket.
I've never heard that word even in my life.
Anyway.
Okay.
Can we talk on that note on the batch sighting? Are we doing that yet?
Yeah, that's so we've got to talk about the
that
pink
probably-
elephant
did
in
you
the
know
back of the
that?
shot.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Go. You go. This is all.
No,
yours.
I don't know. I forgot it. But someone said they saw Jordan Major drinking a coffee.
Okay.
No, we're going to talk about Ricky. Ricky and George, their night
Oh,
out.
we're saving the best for last.
No.
Okay. Go. Go.
Well, I don't know.
Do it.
Well, I don't really know.
None of us
Ricky-
really
Okay,
actually knows.
Ricky
So
met Jordan.
Ricky, okay, Jose 1.0, had a night out with Geordie. We don't. It's shrouded in mystery. It's,
No idea how this even happened.
Filtered through, Clarendon or something, but there's a photo on a Facebook page of Geordie Porty looking like he's had a few. He's got a durry, got a dart hanging out of his mouth
I don't know who that would be.
out at an odd angle. Ricky's in the photo looking very alert, very awake, like he's having a hell of a time. He reckons that Geordie Porty is a very lovely
Hell of a
man.
good guy.
Hell of a man.
But not just like a nice guy.
It's just
Hell of a good time.
Yeah. Well, and that was my info, courtesy of Ant Timpson. Reckons Geordie Porty, good guy. Good guy to have a few beers with.
I'm telling
so
you.
that's the problem.
Oh
He's
my
not.
God. Sorry.
Maybe he's a man's man. What have you just found?
They were at Sale Street. That's where
Sale Street?
But also in the background
Ricky.
of that photo, it looks like they are
Oh, have
in
you got a photo?
army tent.
Let's have a look.
No, I'm just looking at.
Oh,
I'm
right.
looking at what Ricky said to us
Right.
about it. He says he digs the pod. Shout out.
That seems so weird, given that we spend most
Shout
of the
out
pod
to
being
JM.
horrible about him.
And he says he has a good sense of humour about it all. So maybe he's just cracking it. Maybe this is just a long form joke.
I love him. Love him.
I feel like I love him as well, especially after what we've got, this exclusive. I don't know if we can say this is exclusive because Ricky gave it to us in privacy, but Jordan Major,
Definitely
the
exclusive.
photo that they took with one another. There's an OG, there's a raw shot, and then there's an edited version which Jordan Major tinkered with, presumably through Instagram. Could have been some kind of Picasa mobile app, and it is cropped and it is graded, and
Well,
it is
he knows-
cinematic.
He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff.
It's pretty cool because the original photo is definitely the kind of thing where I'd be like next morning having like a raw sweat panic attack. So delete that. But Geordie Porty's no, I'm
He
going
did
to
a good
craft
job.
this.
Okay, so there was another Geordie Porty sighting. He's definitely real.
He's around.
Outside Farrow in Greylin,
Real.
drinking coffee with an unknown female with roses. on the table or nearby. They
Scout
were red
exclusive.
roses, and she wasn't wearing a cocktail dress, and he wasn't wearing boardies, but he was barefoot.
Geordie,
That's
cowboy
shocking.
boots or nothing.
Where did you say it was? Graylin?
Pharaoh Graylin.
Okay.
I go there occasionally. So,
Would you kick your shoes off?
no.
It definitely implies that he's local, like he's probably just wandered
He just
down from
popped
home.
down, yeah.
Yeah. Taking the DeLorean for a spin.
What else? Oh god, I lost my place now.
Shari's been very good on social media. I was singing the praise of Shari as I do every week. She did a Facebook update, which then became a Scout exclusive.
How is it an exclusive? It's a public Facebook.
No.
Look, let's not question them. Spin-off investigations
We would
on
do
a high
it.
bar.
We would do it.
Yeah.
Where she had said, she's like, I need a job, I need some drawers, and I need a bed. And does anyone want a $5,000 necklace?
What's going on, Shari?
That is a great Facebook status
great.
update. Like, I would kill to have that on my feed.
I think it's cool.
Where's she from? She's from
Paraparaumu.
Is she still there, or is she in Auckland?
I don't know. I'd like to think she's making the move up.
She's
doing an
they
Alicia,
all make the move out, right?
getting that Instagram cash.
Even the More FM wildcard moved up.
Don't be, oh, you're so horrible at the Morphin Welcome. There's something about that phrase that makes it sound
know,
so
it's so
toxic.
damning.
I know, but it's all Crystal made that as damning as
it's
it is.
true.
Yeah.
It's
But
true.
I mean, what I mean is that she got booted out fairly early on. I can't see that she's got a huge career out the back of this, and yet
it's also like a More
cynical.
FM thing and a wildcard thing. Like
she's probably going to be hosting a show on More FM soon, right?
She could.
Like
She did
And
very
who
well.
would
She was on
know?
John and
Who
Ben on
would know?
Friday. She did very well on John and Ben. Hilarious. She did like a little sketch with the boy from Hunt for the Wilder People. And they did like a little. Sorry, I said it wrong. It's all good. Did a little batch scenario, and I was like, she could be TV talent. But you know, I guess we said that about Crystal. Crystal went on to Dancing with the Stars. And
Survivor.
Is Crystal blacklisted?
Survivor.
Is she too hot for TV? Is she too crazy?
Like possibly. But also Shari did an Instagram like a couple of days ago, which was in the vein of Crystal, being like, maybe I'll move on to Survivor next. And she was wearing like a buff on her head and was holding some kind of flax. And I was like, I like where this is going. Just
Yeah.
follow the Crystal path.
Very good. Follow the crystal bar. Sounds like an awesome fantasy novel.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys do the Which Bachelor Are You quiz?
Nope.
No.
We'll do that next week.
Okay.
We're running out of time.
Okay.
Pizza's coming.
Tuesday night episode, group date mustering cows with Naz, Fleur, Storm, Erin, and Rebecca.
More work.
More work.
Full cowboy mode. Spurs on his shoes.
He's so he's
Was that when he was wearing the bad hat as well?
Oh my gosh, okay, can we talk about the bad hat and the fondling the dog? Like, the kind of passionate embrace of the dog, maybe that's his true love, and he's just annoyed that he has to put up with all these women. Like, the shots of him in a scoop net with, like, a weird, like, Hohenstein's kind of prop hat wandering around the outlook is just so silly. I just felt so bad for him because he was obviously just in hell wandering around. I think does he cuddle a cow and a horse like this? I
cuddling
forgot about that.
every
I just came
animal.
out of my drug fugue to remember those moments, and they were so silly. It was like a stolen Girlfriends Club shoot from 2006 with a lot of dog fondling. What is going on with those sections? That's not Outback hat. There were no corks. Where were the corks?
Oh my god!
And it was like the brim. The brim was short. It was not like a cowboy hat.
And
It
it
was
had like a bit of rope around it.
I mean, I don't want to get into this fedora debate with you because I know that you get
I'm
very
very
upset.
passionate about it.
But
It's a trilby.
was there a trilby?
No, that was like more like a fedora. Trilby's got a
okay.
short brim. That's one of the
Trilby
great
is what
problems.
is
Short
classically.
brim and a peaky bit at the front, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Why does no one know that?
I don't know.
You guys don't know chambray, okay?
Look, no one knows
Okay.
anything. It's fine.
Right.
But I liked how they introduced, like, that dog. That dog was in the
loves the
first
dog.
episode, but he was also in the Tuesday night's episode, just in like these kind of walking shots.
What do you mean the dog was in the first
That
episode?
classic dog. No. The first episode this week.
Yeah,
All right.
he was in both episodes.
I'm on a week-to-week basis.
Okay.
But they just had it there like it was just a classic dog. Like, I'm like, what is that dog?
And
Where does it come from?
Not only does he love the dog enough to like passionately embrace it, but he kind of known the dog for more than like a couple of days. Like,
Old yellow.
how quickly does he get into these dog relationships? Is what I want to know.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe this
struggles
is
with
all about
humans.
Jordan and dogs.
But
That would have been a shocking reveal, as if the final shot was him giving a rose to that dog.
Puts it in his mouth. He just runs away.
I don't have as much of a problem with the dog as I do with the giant chess piece. But we'll get to that.
Definitely missed
It's
that.
petting a dog. What's your problem?
He was
But it was, like,
petting
too
a dog.
much.
Heavy petting a dog.
Yeah. He embraced the dog more passionately than he has any woman on this show to this point.
Then he jumped on a horse. And he was good on the old horse, wasn't he? With his sprightly
He was
crew.
alright. Yeah.
The girls were mostly terrible on their horses.
Apart from Storm, horse whisperer.
Horse was, and Naz was good too. In fact, Naz and Storm sort of had like an epic battle of the ages to see who could get their horse closest to Jordan's horse, and it was like still 5 meters away.
I just loved Fleur just like stuck. Like the horse was just like, fuck yeah, I'm having a feed. This is cool.
She was the one smacking its bum.
And like going hard with her heels. And the horse was
it
just
looked to me like she was doing all the right things.
Yeah.
The horse didn't want to go.
That was it. And she was yelling, yeah, and all those kind of stupid things you yell. And Jordan was like, you're not yelling loud enough, and just nothing was working.
Do you think that the producers, like the Australian batch producers, were like, don't worry, we've got this under control, we can create some drama for you, we've got a horse that will not
Totally
move.
shit horse.
The last thing you want is a whole lot of horses doing what they're supposed to do on a group date. They might be responsible for the one that like kicked Matilda off last year and broke her wrist.
Got the horse talent. Did you notice in Fleur's little talking head that there was a very strange horse behind her?
With a pink trousseau.
Guys, this is my one scoop.
That is
This is a Scout exclusive. It was a horse, but it was crazy. What was it wearing?
Crazy horse.
It was
Someone said to
very
me-
chic.
Someone was like, "There's a cow," and I was like, "How do you know?"
Was it a cow?
Well, I don't know. It was wearing a
It
big,
was fucking bright
it was wearing a
pink.
pink cloak. How are you to know? I don't know. I just feel like it's just been some time with it.
So horses can't wear clothes now? Is that you?
No, I'm just like, why that horse?
Horsist.
And what's it doing?
Just
It's freezing cold. We've established that.
It's freezing cold.
Everyone needs many layers.
Naz got some one-on-one time with George by virtue of having her birthday on the same day that we
B-Day.
cow mustering. And so she went for a walk through some very high grass with him. And she tells him she's a crush. And he says he has a crush. And they pash. And they pash like, I feel like a proper romantic pash.
It was long.
It was long and it was scenic and it felt like he was into it. I still stand by he is physically attracted to Naz.
Oh, totally.
No. So here's my theory of it, is that like Naz is in on Jordan just being out on the show, like, and she's like, well, we know that we have to create these moments, so let's just go hard and we don't have to pretend like it means anything. And so they're just passionate away, blah, blah. I don't know what sound you
But
make.
you couldn't do that if you weren't physically attracted to someone, could you?
Yeah. I mean, no, you're physically attracted in like a low key, like yeah, it's fine. It's like a human, stood up in front of you kind of thing. But not in a like a this has meaning for me way. And that's actually liberating for Jordan in his like prison of the woman that he can't imagine himself with.
I feel like he was, I don't know, I feel like he was himself a little bit in that moment. Like he was being a bit, he was being a bit playful and kind of, I don't know. In other dates when he's being playful, it's very forced, and his playfulness mostly just comes out in bad jokes. Whereas this felt like they were just kind of kidding around a bit, and I don't know.
He doesn't, you're right. He doesn't make as many like cringy jokes around Naz. Like
No.
it actually feels like a weird, terrible,
It's
perfect thing.
Very
Like-
weird.
Okay, you guys are selling me on this. If Naz wins and they're the new Bachelor, I'm going to be so happy.
It would be the weirdest thing.
Could there be a better result at the end of all this?
That would be so great for New Zealand.
Oh, so good.
I mean, but if you just think about Naz's like turnaround, like she's not a villain anymore.
No.
Totally.
I'm for her. She
Yeah.
seems to be like
all about her.
She's been the most, maybe apart from Fleur saying I want you to meet my parents, whatever. But she's been very vulnerable and like maybe it's just because it's her birthday the next day. But I don't know.
But also, is she like, but she's become kind of bullied by some of the like the Gab Kate fraternity,
But
And
by
even-
the hit list.
by the hit list, yeah. the hit list is gone. But also, like when Kerry kind of insinuated that she'd had this great moment with Jordan, you could see Naz like shrink.
Yes.
You know, later on in the episode.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I've come around.
Yes, you just turned around.
I've changed my tune.
Yeah.
Plus, he loves just carrying her around. He's done it
so
more
true.
than once.
Yeah.
I just found that in my drug fugue memory.
Yeah.
It's just like he does.
Well, pretty much anything you say about these episodes means nothing, Duncan, because you weren't even really watching. So you just have to we'll tell you the way it is.
As
okay?
opposed to normally when it just imbued with huge meaning.
Exactly. Single date went to Gabs, finally, because that's just, it annoys me. I feel like she just should never have got, there should always be someone who just like never gets a single date. Anyway. And she went up in a helicopter. She's scared of heights. She's the one that's scared of heights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, it's ridiculous.
And he pretended like he was going to fly the helicopter, and then they sort of implied that he was flying the helicopter, but he wasn't flying the
Yeah,
helicopter.
it was
No,
very,
it
very,
was
it was
weird.
all very good television.
Yeah, it really was. It was like, he's Richie McCaw. No, he's definitely not Richie McCaw.
Quite a fancy helicopter though, and like a fancy resort. And again, I think like Australia's been good to them, because I don't think there's a Bachelor Hawaii, right? Because obviously Hawaii's just part of the US. You're learning
Show
things.
off.
You're learning things all the time,
Yeah,
guys.
with your cups and your Hawaii.
So there's probably not a Bachelor producing crew in Hawaii, but there is definitely one in Australia, and they've hooked them up with a sweet resort. And
Oh
like
my
a good
god, my
helicopter
brain
company.
just exploded.
What?
Megan Stewart,
No,
head publicist on The Bachelor season
Yeah,
1,
yeah.
has now gone on to work for The Bachelor Australia.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
Yep.
That's the link, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
She's been doing it. Oh my god, there's pizza.
We got to
that's
go,
right,
guys.
we're gonna
That's it, right?
Okay, no, okay, quickly.
Okay. So she's got a little tattoo on her wrist. Does anyone care about that? No.
It's got a heart.
It's got a
My
little
friend's
heart.
always got one of those.
They're wallabies or something. Oh, the wet
Wallaby
deck.
alert.
The wet deck. They're having like this very rainy day, and they are about to have their romantic meal on a deck that's like incredibly wet. But someone's gone on with a towel and just dried the patch of deck underneath where they're putting the table.
I did not notice that. There's a hazard.
Probably not worth going back up forward that one, but I found it amusing that they were so determined that that's where the scene had to be shot, that they were not
Yeah.
like, okay, we'll just move this inside. They're like, no, you have to eat on the deck. We'll just dry underneath so your feet don't get wet.
Bloody hell. Mike with the towels.
Poor old Mike.
Is that when they had the pork? And they had
yes.
all those awkward pork things?
Pork log, pork on a fork.
Eating your pork
Oh
log.
my god, that was
Followed
so
up-
I mean,
bad.
just
Followed up
never say pork log.
by gift of the gab.
Was that the end of? Oh, yeah. Was that the end of banter? Is it finished now? 'Cause
Forever.
if that's
For
it,
everyone.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
There's no more.
It's done. We'll just talk.
Oh, pork on a fork.
Fork on a fork.
On a fork.
Fuck that.
Like, that's the other thing. Not only is it about that Jordan says everything just back to the woman that they've just said, all they talk about is what they're doing at that exact moment.
They don't know anything.
They're
about
live
each other.
blogging their lives.
Yeah, it's honestly. That's
This
not
is
what
the
you
problem
do in
with
real
today.
life.
This is the problem with Twitter. It's, everyone's just, everything's a
Whoa.
status update. I have a chat about being compatible, blah, blah. I found them quite natural together, and then they got inspired and had a kissy kiss. But I don't think she's winning this.
Yeah.
I think they kind of, there is like a little something there, but if he'd taken her on a single date way back when, maybe. But they just don't have enough time. The runway's short. It's too late.
But do you think he was doing something weird putting her on the group dates? And just like doing a little.
I don't think he was doing anything at all. I think a producer was orchestrating the whole damn thing.
That's true.
Cocktail party. Were they the same shabby shoes at the cocktail
Yes,
party?
I like the terrible
I feel
shoes
like
are
they didn't
bad.
look as bad on that angle.
Yeah, it wasn't as harshly lit or something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe it's the Australian production crew. They just know what they're doing a little more with the lighting.
Dealt
And
with
so on.
shabby bachelor shoes before.
If not, he's got 2 pairs of shabby shoes, and shame on you. Kiri's having like monumental meltdowns this episode.
We haven't talked about Rebecca's conversation with Geordie Porty.
Oh, we haven't got there yet.
Happened yet?
Yeah, that's
Okay. Can we just talk about Kiri?
Yeah, she was a shambles.
He was a
I'm
shambles.
not going to talk to him.
Super emotional,
disappointed me.
super pissed off that he hasn't, like taken her out on another date, even though that's like everyone, pretty much.
Yeah.
Very emotional, but you can see that it's actually very real for her. That's the thing. Is like her emotion is
she couldn't keep it together.
No,
like, yeah,
she's like quivering lips and all that kind of thing.
Okay, so maybe Jordan, like, this is the theory I've got. Maybe he's got this technique, and it's another one based on someone who barely saw the last episodes. But maybe he, like, when he's wanting to really connect with them, he just like constantly swears, like just so it just ruins every shot. But it. What I'm trying to say is, like, we've seen no evidence on camera that these women could ever possibly be attracted to this like lobotomized imbecile. But maybe he does. He's fine. He knows that it's not.
It's too far. See, I like him now. I'm not going to.
I know you like him, but
I'm not going to put up with that.
I like him because he's funny.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's probably lovely. I did love the shot. Anyway, the point is, like, maybe he's sort of getting to them some other way, like. Because there's just no way. There's no way. There's a gulf between, like, Storm feels real strongly about him. Fleur feels real strongly about him. Question her judgment. Kerry feels real strongly about him. She seems like a fine, upstanding citizen. Like, how do they all feel this way about a guy who's just sort of a wanderer, wandering around?
But why bury that? You know, like, why bury those conversations?
That's what I mean. Is that like, I think he's doing something
on purpose.
Yeah. You know how Crystal's advice was, like, just kill the scene, like, by, like, swearing.
But she said
or
if you're saying something stupid that you don't want.
But maybe Jordan's like, because he's like a third AD. He's real smart. Sorry, it's more theorising. Let's get out. The pizza's here. Pizza's here.
Okay. Who went for the chess chat? Was that
Erin? That's who I've got in the sweeps, by the way, guys.
Honestly, I honestly should have known it was Erin by the fact that I can't remember who it was, because bless her, she's the most forgettable for me. Anyway, they had a giant game of chess, and she's blonde, so no one thinks she can play, and she can.
But she didn't actually win.
She didn't win. And
they just said, let's call it a draw.
Yeah,
and then she carried a
because
thing.
they didn't stand there and play a game of chess.
No.
Let's be real. That takes time, right? Mm-hmm. Unless you're playing speed chess or something. Especially when you're trying to get to know each other while you're moving your pieces around. And she walks off with the king.
I want to know what happened after that. What did she do with it?
It was, and she took it back for drinks with the girls because it was in shot, sitting on the veranda.
Was it?
Yes, it was sitting on the veranda, quite near where Kerry was. You know, like to Kerry. Oh, when Kerry went off and had her little Twilight piano moment, and then came back and sat on Kate because she was so overcome she didn't realise there was no space on the seat for her, so she sat on Kate. The thing was there.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
So they stole the chess piece.
It's cool power play by Erin.
Yeah.
But what does it mean? Nothing. She stole a chess piece.
She stole a chess piece.
It's not a rose.
No, she stole it. It's
but stealing things.
Everything's like you take back. It's like some sort of symbolic, like, see, he loves me, I've got a necklace. See, he loves me, he gave me a bottle of wine. See, he loves me, I've got a giant chess piece.
That's true.
Jordan invites Rebecca to go chat about your cow mustering techniques. And he takes her off to a barn where he does not chat to her about cow mustering techniques. He does a lot of that when he calls people away. He's like, we're going to go chat about this thing that happened, and then they don't. In fact, he, for the first time ever, just coincidentally inquires something about one of the girls' lives that's outside of the show.
It's crazy.
I've never heard him talk to anyone about their jobs or their family or anything at all. But he just randomly on this day wants to know more about Rebecca's studies.
Studies?
About your studies. Not about your rest home attendant thing. No. Not about how you swallow a mouthful of sick. I want to know about your studies. He's been tipped off. He's been tipped off.
Are you implying there are people who are off camera who could sort of trying to massage this thing, this river into shape?
This documentary, I'm not sure, but I feel like maybe he might have known somehow that she was writing a thesis on romance and reality television and the evolution of it.
I just hated this whole scene. Can I just say,
yeah, you can.
I felt like he was like harshly judging her for something that was actually super cool. She was forced on the defensive about something that was super cool. And then She sent him the whole. I just hated it. I hated it.
They wrecked it. It could have gone so much better. It could have gone so differently. I feel like that's reason to keep her.
I think the thing is that
Totally.
the show couldn't keep her because I think they've been caught out.
There's an outsider.
No, I think what happened is the show didn't realise about this thesis, and when they found out about it, they were like, Jordan, you're going to have to talk to her about it, and we're going to have to kick her off the show.
No, they're not. Like, if it was good TV, you keep her in no matter what. She could have, like, be caught murdering goats still.
Because they liked each other. We thought, like...
No, but that might be just like a producer's ego. It's like, you got through the filter. You're not here for the right reasons. You're here to write, she might reveal all our reality TV secrets in her thesis.
It's so cool.
I'm embarrassed.
It's like the coolest thing that's ever happened. And I'm really sad that they kind of axed it so ham-fistedly like that.
Yeah. And also, the other thing is, it's like they have this conversation which is pretty like a full-on.
It was an actual conversation.
Right?
She was freaked out. You could tell she didn't like know what to say.
But it didn't get mentioned again.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he wasn't like, she didn't come off saying, if she was there for the right reasons. She didn't come away saying, oh God, I feel like that conversation might have stuffed it for me. Like, you would genuinely be freaking out if you thought. She was definitely not. She definitely was there for her thesis, right?
Yeah.
Because she didn't seem to care that she was going home.
Yeah, she didn't like Geordie Porty.
She didn't like Geordie
no
Porty.
tears, no nothing. I mean, they could have a chat about Star Wars, but
the thing is, in another world, I feel like perhaps they might have actually gotten
if they
together.
had like a party.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, we've
I
seen
feel
what
like
it's like at parties.
He would have thought that was like really cool that she was writing that thesis. I think.
But she has to play this dorky Bachelor thing, and she's,
And this is the central problem, right? Is that Jordan's playing a bachelor rather than being a bachelor.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so...
That's it.
That's it. Oh, Terry and the piano. Kerry and the piano. She's quite good. But it was very Twilight. Someone brought that up in the group thing, and I was thinking exactly the same thing.
It was very similar.
Yeah.
Except it was like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and not some intense Edward Cullen original track.
Yeah. But she was playing a nice original.
They're just very lucky that Twinkle Twinkle's now public domain, because otherwise they'd have to bang out some royalties for that one.
Rose ceremony. I felt they were unnaturally clustered together. I don't know if it's just because the group's getting smaller and they were like in a big space, and there was like, I don't know how many, 8, 9 of them, just all like very, very close, unnecessarily so. That's nothing. Rebecca went home because the game was up. He found out she was doing a social experiment on him, and
I just wish there could have been more. Like, I would just love to hear what he actually thought.
No
like,
kidding.
It's just...
It's
the biggest story in this whole season.
Yeah.
And they just screwed it up.
They just touched on it like it's in a way that maybe... Oh, I don't even know. I can't even think of anything that's comparable because it's never happened before, which is why it should be a big thing.
We should... you need to interview Rebecca.
Yeah. But she's probably... Okay, so we're done with that show, right? So I was speaking to someone who knows someone who used to go out with Rebecca. And she is genuinely a big fan of the Bachelor franchise. And apparently she applied for season 1.
Whoa.
And... God, I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying all this.
Say it.
Well, no, that's it really. But
that's not that really.
But the person who used to go out with her, watching the show, seemed to think that she was for real, like genuinely there for the right reasons. Well, I'm so confused about.
I feel like that's possible.
It could be possible. I mean, it could be like if that's something you're studying, you get so like consumed by it. Why wouldn't
that's
you?
That's the other alternative.
Be like, oh, maybe I'll just do it.
Yeah, and she's probably watched a lot of people fall in love on the show.
Yeah,
and like Ben, for example, like the last US, like I'd go out with him. Like he seems lovely.
Yeah.
You know, and so like
I buy it.
Art was lovely.
Matilda, are you kidding? Like who wouldn't?
They've just like played a netball game, Epsom Girls versus Auckland Grammar.
What?
They just played like netball game against like Epsom Girls versus Auckland Grammar, and they joined the teams like today or yesterday.
Yeah, I saw.
Their lives seem so good.
So good, eh? God.
Hang out
Wait,
with them
were they playing for? What's going on?
Like,
Was Matilda playing for?
I guess Matilda was playing for Epsom Girls, and that was Yeah. Well, they could have done
that's fun. That is
so
fun.
good. Like, they
bloody
just like
fun.
live an awesome life of like cool jobs and then cool extracurricular activities
Cool
and sort of
Apple
like,
PR stunts.
yeah, get free apples and it's so good.
Book deal. They could have had a book deal. This Rebecca thing could have been
It'll still be a book deal.
monetized.
But we'll monetize it.
Okay.
Do you reckon? Or is
Rebecca,
she
if you're
going to be
listening, we'll
under...
monetize you.
We need to have a powwow
We
about
give you
this offline.
$20.
Don't we could, I feel like we could stretch.
50.
And packing.
I think that you know, like for the next Bachelor, instead of just like combing the country for someone who has like an okay job and is physically fit, that they should choose someone from who's appeared in the show, like Mike Puru or Daniel the chef or the unnamed waiter from episode 1.
Yeah.
The guy from the
Tikitane?
volcano. Tikitane. The abseiling instructor. I liked
No,
him.
I didn't like him.
You didn't like him?
Boo.
Yeah, but he could. I thought he could be a good batch.
I feel like we're going on too long and the pizza's getting cold.
Okay.
Goodbye.
One last thing. It's not really a spoiler, but it's a theory about who I think might win. It's not like I have no actual proof.
Okay.
But the first, as far as I can tell from scrolling through Jordan's 500 odd people that he follows on Instagram, the first Bachelorette that he followed, because I think they're in chronological order of when you follow them, was Fleur.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
That's
all.
tell.
That's it. That's all I got.
It's good.
Again,
Drop
I was
the
gonna
anvil.
coming. We're going to go have some pizza. Hey, thanks so much for listening. Thanks very much to Lightbox for bringing you this podcast.
And to Jose.
To Jose and... No, we don't have a sponsor for, like, Linda.
To your ad here for sponsoring us.
Yeah, get involved. And hashtag TFS pod. Bye.
Bye.
Talo for Lover. I'm Madeline Chapman, editor at The Spinoff. If you have the means, consider supporting our high-quality journalism by becoming a Spinoff member. Sign up now at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spinoff. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spinoff member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spinoff Podcast Network.